טהרת הסדר. Okay, we have the seder plate. The seder plate, if we look, there is 6 different food on a plate. And they are zroa, and I'm going to translate them just now to English, beitza, haroset, karpas. Then we have maror and hazeret, but they are the same. Okay, maror and hazeret considered the same, and then we have the 3 matzot that we have on the top. What is zroa? Zroa is the shake bones. Everyone knows that, obviously. Why? What is its symbol? Why do we put zroa on a seder place? We have to understand. Not for nothing. Hazal tell us to do that. So there is few reasons for it. Why do we do the shake bone? Number one, we have to understand it's a memory to remind us of Korban HaPesach. נכון? Okay, that's on a simple. But Korban HaPesach, I agree with you. I'm not saying that you're wrong, Philip. But if you say it's Korban HaPesach, why does it have to be a shake bone? The shoulder. Why does it have to be a shoulder? Why dafka the shoulder? Or the arm, if you want to call it. The right word is the arm. Why do you put the arm on a seder plate? You understand me, Louis? Bruchim habayim. Welcome, Louis. And refuah shleima. So explain to me, if that's the case, if we say Korban HaPesach, why do we take the part that it's more like a shoulder? That we put. Huh? Okay, what does that mean? Okay. That's the pasuk, but we have to explain the pasuk. It's not chokhmah just to say psukim, but shirkoach, Stephen. What does it mean? What Stephen's saying is, it's to remind us how HaKadosh Baruch Hu reminds us, with a stretched arm. Bizroa netuya, נכון? But there is one more. There is one more reason that's why we're putting it. Hazal tell us that the future redemption will be even bigger than what was in Mitzrayim. Can you believe it? The third redemption gonna be completely with a stretched arm. What does it mean, a stretched arm? That HaKadosh Baruch Hu will show us miracle like we never saw. That means that Pesach, what we're celebrating now, what we're talking about Pesach, all the miracles that HaKadosh Baruch Hu done for us will be nothing compared to the third redemption, the final redemption. Then we have beitza. Beitza is the egg. Why do we have egg on the table? Korban? Korban Hagiga? Okay, it's a festival, sacrifice, נכון? But why dafka egg? Do you understand my question? Why dafka egg? Why do we have to put an egg on a plate, on a seder plate?
Life.
Huh?
Life.
Life. Okay. Anyone have any idea? Rabota, let me give you a hint. When do we eat eggs? Think about it. Huh? When you? What did you say?
When you're mourning.
When you're mourning, yes. What's the connection?
Round.
Huh? Bet HaMikdash. Okay. Look how many answers I get. No, Baruch Hashem, you all Talmidei Chachamim here.
I wish bagels as well.
Huh? When a person, lo aleinu, when people sit Shiva, Rabotai, we eat eggs.
And bagels.
And? Bagel. Okay. I didn't know bagel, but okay, if you say bagel, bagel. Okay. Okay. I think that it's a new idea.
Custom.
But eggs, why dafka eggs? Okay, so we say because the morning. Morning of Bet HaMikdash, for the destruction of Bet HaMikdash. I agree with you now. Then if you say that, why do we dip it in salt water?
Yeah.
We have to understand what's happening here.
Slavery.
It's come to tell us that we're mourning for the destruction of the first and the second temple. That's why we're eating eggs. But the Mona, if I'm not mistaken, doesn't eat, or he doesn't dip his egg with salt water, salty water, or whatever you want to call it, water with salt, whatever. Nahon? So why do we have it on a seder plate? It's part of the eggs. It's to show that in that night, even that we're happy, even that we rejoice, we still remembering the destruction of the temple. But we didn't forget the tears that our forefathers and our fathers
Slavery.
Also they say
cried in heaven when the destruction happened. The tears, to remind us the tears for the
salt
destruction.
from the Red Sea too, I think I heard once.
Sorry?
The salt from the Red Sea.
Yes.
That's also what the salty water represents.
But I didn't see a sweet sea, if I'm not mistaken.
There's
The
no
only
big
sea
ones.
that is sweet is, they call it Kinneret, Yama Kinneret, but it's not a Yam, it's a Agam. But it's to remind us one very important thing, is the tears that our fathers cried for the destruction. Not only that, the tears that our father had after the destruction. When they gone to Babylon, how much they tortured them there. Nebuchadnezzar.
When did the seder plate come about? Who first said that it must be a seder plate?
Oh, so what you're saying, who put it together?
Correct.
Very good.
So the Beit HaMikdash was way
Nachon,
after...
Nachon,
Yes,
Nachon.
yeah, that's right.
Beit HaMikdash was?
Afterwards.
Long after,
So
yeah.
the thing is, why would the salt water...
The Beit HaMikdash,
Oh, the
actually,
seder plate.
Beit HaMikdash, Rabota, just to give us analogy, if you read the Tanakh, the foundation for Beit HaMikdash, David HaMelech put. Shlomo HaMelech built the first Beit HaMikdash. So it was quite late, if you look at it. But we have to understand, after the destruction, the first destruction, in the time of the Talmud, when there was in Babylon, okay, Hazal and the Sanhedrin make for us the Seder. Because if you look, it's to remind us, Korban Pesach. Korban Pesach he used to bring when? Only in Bet HaMikdash. Remember, Korban Hagigah, the sacrifice of festival also, where? In Bet HaMikdash. So it came much later. You understand? In a time of that. Yes. In a time of, it was on that time. Yes.
I went through my whole school career learning at the end because the more you cook it, the harder it gets, and it's the Jewish people, the more you work there. Everything that I learned, we bring deeper meanings in. Why doesn't everyone else learn deeper meanings? Why is the first time we have to hear these deeper meanings in a shul 30 years after school?
I mean, I can't answer for your teacher. I can answer for myself. I'm trying. No. But I agree with you. I agree with you. Understand what you're saying. No, Russell. I understand exactly where you're coming. The main reason that I'm doing this show, that when you're going to sit on a seder, when each one of us sitting on a seder, that when I speak to my kids, I'm trying every year to find. You know, my kids get bored with me quick. Dad, we heard that last year. You know, they know the parsha. Every shi'ur that you hear, every Shabbos, Rabotai, every shi'ur that you hear here, almost most of the shi'urim, my family hear it. To make sure that I come prepared. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I need to all the time. And I tell you what, I understand where you're coming from. But the chokhmah is, it's never late. It's never late. Now, why they don't do, I can't tell you. But at least now you're getting that knowledge. I hope that this year, please God, when you sit around the table with your precious family and you share with them those words, they will understand. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I can't answer others. You follow Rabota. I can answer for myself. I'm trying. So we spoke about the egg. That was the second one. Then come haroset. Nachon? Everyone know what is haroset? Oh, Baruch Hashem, everyone know haroset. What is haroset? No, Stephen, Simon doesn't know. I have to explain. Haroset, there's many ways to do haroset. Okay? Now, if you look at the haroset, did you ever eat an haroset? Never. Sorry, Simon? You did? Okay, what is haroset? Haroset is a mixture of fruit, nuts, okay, wine. Some people would put wine. Some people put a special syrup. I tell you how I do it, because my family, we take a date syrup. We take a nut, we roast them, we crush them, we put them together. And I tell you, every year I have orders because I have a good friend from the Chabad, Shabsi Chaitan. And Shabsi Chaitan given me an order before Pesach. Listen, keep it for me after Pesach because you eat kitniot, I can't eat. After Pesach, I want you haroset. And he doesn't give up. So there's all different ways to do it. Some people do it with apple, nachon, cut the apple, they actually shred it a bit. There's all different ways to do haroset. Why do we have haroset on a seder plate? Did you ask yourself? So I hear someone say for the mortar. Who said for the mortar? Stephen, as usual. Why? What mortar? If you say mortar, I agree with you. I'm not saying that you're wrong. How does it symbol what we have?
Because the Egyptians, when the Jews accepted the Pesach, showed that the Jewish children had been
That's one idea. The other idea that when the Jewish people was in Egypt, they have to build Pitom and Ramses. You remember? Nachon? Pitom and Ramses. Their job was what? To mix mortar. Mortar, for some of you, I don't know, I'm sure all of you know, there is different ingredient. Am I right, David, in mortar? You agree with me? So there is a cement. Am I right, Simon? You're a builder. There is cement. There is sand. There is, what else? Stone. What else? Water. You forgot the water. Why all of those? Like Stephen said, that when the Jewish person didn't manage to fulfill his capacity of bricks to do, they used to take their babies and they used to put them on the wall instead of bricks. So it's come to remind us how much we suffered and how much our father suffered when there was in slavery in Egypt, the mortar. Let's move on. We have karpas. Karpas is celery. Some people use celery. I hear that some people use parsley, but the main thing that you use is celery. People use celery. Why do we use karpas? To understand that, milshon parich. Parich, what it means parich? Hard work. Where do we find it in a karpas, in the word karpas? Take the word karpas, take the samech out. What it means? Parich, nachon? If you write it backwards, parich. That means that our father worked in slavery, beparich. What it means parich? Hard work. So what is the samech doing there? The gematria of samech? 60. Don't work hard. 60, what does it come to tell us? 60 what? The 600,000 men. That's the Jewish people, Nachon of Bnei Israel, that was worshipped, that we have in slavery, Nachon, that they put them in slavery. It's come to tell us that when you eat the celery, remember, who you have to remember? How much our father, the 600,000, was in slavery. Let's move on. Maro. What is maro? And here comes the question. The Gemara in Masechet Pesachim asks, what is maro? The bitter herb. What is the bitter herb? What? Chrein. No, the Gemara doesn't say that. In the time of the Gemara wasn't chrein.
Romaine lettuce.
Listen. Lettuce. Lettuce is chrein. Vachabiki. We say in Yiddish vachabiki, no? Vachabiki. Rega, we say in Afrikaans. Listen. Where is the chrein came? Chrein wasn't exist in the time of the Gemara. Nachon, explain to them. Gidon. The chrein came in Europe. Chrein came from Europe. Why? The Gemara asked, "Maze maror? What is a maror? Maror is chasa." Our sages say chasa. What is chasa? Lettuce. But in Europe, because they don't have sun, very difficult to get lettuce in Pesach, so they need to eat something better because it's a better herbs. What can they get? The chrein, the horseradish. Nachon? So in Europe, the minhag was to eat chrein. Other countries that there is sun, they used to eat lettuce. Okay? That's chasa. Chasa is lettuce. Hazeret is the same. Rabotai, hazeret and maro, it's the same, by the way. Let's move on. We have 3 matzot on the plate. Nachon? Okay? Why dafka matzot? And why dafka 3? Why not 4? Why not 1? Okay, you know what? I agree with you too. Lechem mishne. Why do we put 3? Huh? Oh, the Kohen. Anthony is the Kohen. Kohen Levy Israel. Okay, what else? No? Not only Kohen Levi in Israel you remember, that's all.
What up,
The
turn
man,
around.
the man.
Broke in the middle one, you broke in the middle one, then they won't be.
Sorry? I didn't understand, Philip.
Once because you break the middle one.
We'll get to it. We'll get to it. We'll go through the Seder Pesach. No, but I'm asking why 3 matzot?
No, because you need lechem mishneh, and lechem mishneh must be complete. So, but you're gonna break the middle one long
No.
before. And
No.
you won't have two.
But I'm saying, why do I have on a plate, on a Seder plate, until I come to Yehatz, until then I have three matzot? Why? So there is other reason. Instead of Abraham, like you mentioned, Kohen, Levi, and Israel, we have 3 fathers. Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov. You agree with me? That's second reason. But the main reason, Hazal tell us, Rabotai, focus what I'm telling you. You remember that Avraham Avinu done a Brit Milah? Avraham Avinu was in the age of 100. The 3rd day for the Milah, what day it was? Pesach. When the angel came to visit him on the 3rd day, what did he say to Sarah Imenu? Mahari Lushi. Shalosh Se'im. That means quick. Go need 3 different Se'im. Why? For the 3 angels that came to visit him. And a memory of that was Pesach, and it was the 3rd day that Avraham Avinu was in pain, we have 3 matzot. So those are the symbols that we have in the Kehara and the main reason for it. Now we're going to start the seder of the Pesach. We start with Kadesh. Kadesh, we do a Kiddush. If it's Shabbat, we have to add up a special, the adding for Shabbat, Yom HaShishi, a normal Kiddush. Okay? And then we drink the first cup from the 4 cup of wine. That's in Kadesh. Then we have Kadesh Urhat. Rehatz, what it means Rehatz? To vas. Rabota, we vasing without a brocha. Not like usually we vas with a brocha. Now we vas without a brocha. How come?
Karpas is
Wet. Okay, Karpas is wet, yes. So Hazal tell us, we have what we call Kol Ma'achal Shemetubal B'mashkin. That means Hazal tell us, every food that you have to dip it with water, you must vas before. Why? Because if you eat it while it's wet and your hand is not clean, the tumah will go into the food, and then you eaten something that is unpure. Okay? Now, then come.
So what is it
No.
everybody washes? I mean, the person was doing brother that washes somebody else.
Sorry? How did you come with that? Everyone have to wash. If you eat karpas, if you eat from the karpas, you're obligated to vas. A combi? Because Hazal tell us halacha. So it's say Nagada. But we have halacha. Kol ma'achal. Correct me if I'm wrong, Gidon. That you dip it with water, or there is water on it, you have to make sure that you vas before. Why? Otherwise you pass tuma. So what? You didn't get tuma. If you the head, if you saying the seder, and all the rest is okay. It doesn't make sense.
That's what our Torah says.
Rabbi,
Okay.
we've been doing it wrong for 80 years.
I don't know. I'm not saying that you was doing wrong. I'm telling you the halachot.
No, but it's not. I mean, whoever wrote that guy would have followed the halakha.
Follow the halacha. I tell you, if you look at that, there's many people that in costume that everyone get up and all of them vas without a brocha. It's well known.
Some Haggadot says one person does it. Some
Nachon,
it says that all of them.
yeah, you heard. Yeah. Some Haggadot say one person. Most of them say everyone, and that's the halacha in Shulchan Aruch. Why did he wrote? I can't answer. Then we have karpas. What did we say karpas is? Celery, remember?
So,
You take a celery, you dip it in salt water, and you eat less than kazait, rabotai. Less than kazait. You say bore pri adama, okay? You eat the karpas, less than kazait. Why less than kazait?
They make
That
it
you're
after.
not going to be obligated for baracha achrona. Okay, let's move on. After that come yehat, breaking the matzah. Okay. Yehat. What is yehat? We say that we have 3 matzot on a plate. We take the middle matzah and we break it. According to Kabbalistic thing, the right part, the right hand side of the matzah should be bigger than the left. Why do we have to break it?
that's the way I purpose.
Yes, yes. We keep the one big piece for the afikoman, but is that why we split it?
How are we going to get the afikoman?
Use the same one, full one.
The poor people, that's how they keep the bigger part for the later.
That's one thing. That they eat the small part and they keep the big thing.
Yeah.
That's one opinion. What else? Rabotai, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, we say that everything that we do symbol what's happened to our fathers in Mitzrayim. It's to show us how quick HaKadosh Baruch Hu split the sea. It was so simple for him, so easy. The same like breaking the matzah, for HaKadosh Baruch Hu to split the sea, it was as easy. That's one opinion. Other opinion, that we keep the big one and we make a short one to remind us that we were supposed to be in slavery for 400 years. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu shortened and put us in slavery for 210 years. That means to show us how HaKadosh Baruch Hu shortens our years in slavery. That's why we do Yahat. Okay, then we have Magid. Magid, we start saying the Agada. Okay? Why do we have to say the Agada? The Torah in Sefer Shmot, Parashat Bo, Perek Yudalet, that means chapter 13, verse 8, and it says like this: "Ve'egadeta lebincha bayom hahu." We have a positive command, a deoraita, that means a positive command that we obligated to tell our children about the Exodus. How HaKadosh Baruch Hu redeemed us from Egypt. To tell about the 10 plagues. All the miracles that happened to the Jewish people from the day that they was in slavery until they become Bnei Horim. Okay. Now we have to understand very important thing. After we say that, okay, in the end of Magid, Rabotai, we pour, as we start the Magid, we pour the second cup, nachon? When we finish the Agada, to read the Agada, what do? We drink in the second cup amongst the 4, nachon? Then we do Rahtzah. Rahtzah this time with a brocha. Then we say Motzi. We say Birkat HaMotzi, and then we do Birkat Matzah, that we obligated to eat matzah. Then we have Maror. Motzi Matzah, Maror, nachon? What is maror? We have to eat maror. And we say, "Sher kedeshanu tzivanu al achilat maror." After that, we have korech. What it means, korech? We take the matzah, we take the maror, and we eat it together. Why? To symbol to that's what they used to do in Beit HaMikdash. That used to do them together, and that's what we say. Ve'ilel hazaken haya korcham. It means that he used to put them together, like we used to do. Ado, the maror, we should dip it a little bit in a haroset to remind us the hard time that Bnei Israel have, and the haroset is the mortar, how they used to make us in slavery. Then come Shulchan Orech. Sorry? To remind us that the maror and the matzah, the unleavened bread and the hard life that we have to eat them together. To remind that these two together. That when the Jewish people was in Egypt, you know what they used to eat? Unleavened bread. It's not only in the Exodus. The Egyptian used to give them unleavened bread. You know why? Rabbi Avraham Ibn Ezra said that when he was in Egypt, in the jail they used to give it. Why? So people doesn't have appetite anymore to eat. It's fill you. It's make you full. Bloated. Okay, so after that, we eat the main meal. That's Shulchan Orech. Then we have tzafun. Tzafun is... Sorry? Huh? Dessert. Tzafun is dessert. That's eating the afikoman. Ronnie, I think that you see too many numbers. Huh? Okay. So tzafun, we're eating the afikoman. Why do we eat afikoman? Zecher lekorban apesach. That means that we eat the afikoman in zecher lekorban apesach. What is it symbol? That when we used to eat korban apesach, you're not allowed to break the bones. You remember? Not only that, when you eat it when you're full, and you have to finish it before midnight. That means that you have to eat Korban Pesach after you're full, when you can't eat anymore, to show you like kings. To remind us, from slavery, now we become to king. Barech, then we do Birkat HaMazon, and we're drinking the third cup of wine. After Barech, we have Hallel. We're saying thank you to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and we're praising HaKadosh Baruch Hu for redeeming us from slavery and become a freedom. Not only freedom, and He chose us as His nation. And then, in the end of the Hallel, we drink the fourth cup of wine, and then we say Nirtzah. Nirtzah, it's finished. Ado, there is certain agadot that you have to say, Hasal Sidur Pesach. That means that if you say that, finish all of that, like you fulfill the Pesach. Ado, after that, people continue to talk about the Exodus. We have time? We have some time. 3 minutes. Okay, let's start the Agada. How's the Agada start? Ha lahma anya, de'achlu abatanya. That means this is the unleavened bread, or this is the bread that our father eaten in Egypt. It starts in Aramaic. נכון? And how's it ending? לשנה הבאה בערד ישראל בני חורים. You start in Aramaic, you finish in Hebrew. Why? Did you ask yourself?
They didn't have an Aramic word for it.
What? They didn't have what?
Aramic word for
בני חורים. What? Why they don't have? Everything they have in Aramaic, just Bnei Horim they don't have. In Shana Ba'a they don't have. No. Bechlalo. We have to understand why is it. The reason that we start with Aramaic, because the most common language in that time was Aramaic. Nachon? If that's the reason, I agree. So why do we finish in Hebrew? Rabotai, listen. What are we asking in the end of Al-Ahmania? The Shana Ba'a, next year, we will be free where?
free
in Eretz Yisrael, Be'arad Yisrael, Bnei Horim. We have, Hazal teach us something very important. Every time that you say a brocha, you create an angel. And when you create an angel, that angel take your prayer, your davening, and he take it up to heaven, to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. If we say all of that verse in Aramaic, the angel doesn't understand Aramaic. So who's going to take it up to HaKadosh Baruch Hu? So we start with what? Aramaic. To take it up to HaKadosh Baruch Hu as a full brocha, how do we finish? L'shana haba be'arad Yisrael. The angel here, you want to be free next year in Eretz Yisrael. Let me take what you say up to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Now we understand why it starts in Aramaic and it's finished in Hebrew. Please God, Rabotai, please bring next week the Agada. We're going to start going through the Agadot.